Hello, 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 everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rip your face off. Growth and mega cap and junk rally today. By the way, if you're new here, please do click on the like button, hit that, ring that bell, and considering subscribing to the channel. Longtime viewers, please do like and comment on the live streams and the videos. So, hope everyone had a great trading day. We got the continued follow through rally with the NASDAQ. By the way, if you want to know our thoughts on the FOMC press conference, please go back and watch the recording of the last live stream. Bob Iacchino was on with me also to discuss that. Take a look at any of the stocks you want to now at this point. So, again, I've talked about if you want to keep playing this, I would focus on growth and mega cap stocks. And the best way is then to trail out a stop. So Tesla continued up 4.78% to the daily rotation zone, pretty much closing right on it. If your rally in the NASDAQ continues, what are the next levels I'm watching for? I'm watching for right around 858. These are the major levels, 879 and then 891. Okay, so those are the levels I'm watching. Again, Monday gave a buy signal, an aggressive buy signal against the daily rotation zone. And you can see here just falling through. Clear path move on the 4 hours. So I would definitely, again, can't give trading advice, educational purpose only, but I would definitely be trailing a stop pretty aggressively. You do, if the markets roll over again and you do have a turnaround, then we'll keep an eye on that because we have some areas of some pockets to trade down into. Potential double top. Let's just double check this. This gets rolled. See, here's the candle body. So you do have a potential back below 802.41, 783.18, 773.57, 763.95. So that would be the last line in the sand for anything, because if that turns around and triggers, it could easily retrace to the lows. Now, for the positive news, again, you're trading right. You close pretty much at the highs. You're right at this pausing area too, and a prior harmonic level. So above that, here's your minor levels for tomorrow. I'd watch this 870, 852.75. Then you still have this little gap left behind. Okay, so that takes me to that 858, 859 level. All right, that's why that is very key. You could fill this gap easily on a continued rally. Minor level would be 863.50, but then you're into another clear path move to about 879.50, and then you have that on the daily. You have right here that 890, 889, 890, the final area with the declining 50. To the downside, what's your first warning sign? You start breaking back below about 830 is your first warning sign, because then you have a clear path move. The next target below would be about 818 with this little pausing hitch. Then I would be watching for the return to 802 to 806 levels. So those are all your key levels based off of Tesla. This is actually a Joe Bonamassa. Ken, Joe Bonamassa, blues tie-dye shirt. So that's where we sit with there. It all depends on your time frame. That's the thing. If you want to get our overview on the Nasdaq, we did a live stream an hour ago. You should go back and watch that. I still think we could see higher prices through. Could be choppy tomorrow, but we could still see higher prices through the end of the week potentially. So we'll look at that. Let's see. Yeah, Joe Bonamassa is a slick player. I love Joe Bonamassa. He can really play some guitar. What else do we want? Let's What else? Remember, I went through also why in the last live stream after Bob left, why I'm favoring mega caps and growth stocks, at least in the short term, and how to play those using, you can always use the ETFs to play them if you didn't want to pick a specific stock. William, I will get Bob. I'll do that right now for you. Baba, we had a huge run up in China today. I mean, this is just it looked like intervention, a Chinese intervention after the tech rout, because you also had the Dragon Index up very big. So this was definitely a intervention. Now, this is what I talked about. Remember, on these kind of rallies, you're not even back to the weekly rotation zone, and you're not even back to prior major support becoming resistance. So, first area, if you're looking to still trade this alongside, your first target area is about this 110 to 112 area, and then you're looking if it does continue to 127. And those would be my upside targets on BABA. Again, longer term, I'm watching for this to fill the gap. Short term, there's still a little room left to run up on this. It did get overextended, so your key support is back at about 98.50 to about 96.50. I would not want to be long this still if it started dropping below 96.50. So that would be my key line in the sand. Other than that, I continue to play it to these support levels. You still have, between this 110 and about 112, you have some pretty major resistance. And then you're actually into a clear path move up to 126. So up here, if you want to try to remain longer term, that would be the first key resistance to move up a stop more aggressively. Okay, there's your BABA. BABA to 300. You're a long way off from 300 there, Abraham. Let's see, you want XPEV? Again, everything in China bounced substantially today, but again, you had some intervention. I'm going to watch for these to roll over. Targets for XPEV about 30 bucks, then about 31. 30 and 31, and then longer term where, see, there's all these stopping points. This is where you could get the little run up and the rollover. There was some intervention. I was talking to some people. There was some intervention. They won't say they intervened. There was some intervention. That's the word I'm getting. So that's what I'm watching for on a little bounce up. It just takes you back to key support becoming resistance. What else do we have? I want to glance at some other stuff. Apple still a little more follow through upside. Gonna keep an eye here because we still have a gap up here still. So Apple about 160, 170 potentially still to the upside. That's where I'm watching with Apple, and we could be then turning in longer term unless this really gets a substantial rally on into a more bearish pattern, even with this run up. So do not ignore this gap. And the first area I'd watch is to this open, but the true gap fill then, if it gets through that opening price and the daily rotation zone, would be back to the full closing price of 162.95. So that could be an interesting, if we continue a rally, that could be a little interesting short-term play to the upside. NVIDIA back above its 200, but back to this 245 significant level. Above there, you do have a little clear path move and a gap left behind. So if you were looking to still play this, it's against the 50, so it's really against major resistance. But if it can continue a NASDAQ rally over the next couple days, two key targets I'd be watching about 256 and then 265. Those are the next two targets, the upside. You don't really want to see it drop below about 236.50 on a closing basis again, because that would be another close back below the 200. So that's another potential play to the upside. Again, these are all mega caps or high growth that we're going for, because that's where short term the money flow is. Microsoft back to the key declining trend line and above the significant level in here. We do have a clear path move, and the next target area, this is another potentially play, you have between about 299 to about 300 is the next target on a follow-through rally either tomorrow or Friday. Where you don't want to see it drop back below is around 290. You don't want to see it close back below 290. So those are some other short-term plays. Amazon back to its 50. The next play for me for Amazon is not until it can get above 30.83 with some momentum above 30.83. Then you have 31.61. You don't want to see it drop back below. Let's see. I'm going to fine tune this level right now. Hold on. You don't want to see it drop below about 28.96 if you're bullish at all. If we drop below there, then I'm targeting the gap fill to the downside and potential new lows. But again, this is sort of in no man's land right now until you get above, and it looks like it's a little up after hours, but above 30.78, it could be another short-term play to 31.61. Let's see. We looked at that. ARC. What did I do? There we go. I can't type. ARC reversal off the cluster up big, but this is still just, I talked about this the other day. This could easily return to the daily rotation zone. If you are playing this on a bounce, your next target 62.70. I'm not touching this piece of garbage, and then the next bounce would be about 65, 65.50. But that would just be return to the weekly rotation zone, and I'd watch a rotation lower you see coming into this key cluster area and then reversing. But there's nothing to do here long term because when we get the next rollover move, ARC will again head lower. But you see we did have a divergence setting up here. Lower low price action, higher low RSI. You want to buy a put on Amazon at 31.61. That could be a rollover play again. Again, that would probably get it into overbought, also short-term overbought mode, and it could get the only. And then I'd use a stop above. Again, I can't give individual trading advice. Up above here, I'd really watch out because a stop for me would be above 32.77. 32.77, then that triggers a more longer-term bullish pattern. Actually, based off of here. So that would be a key stop level if I was playing it for a rollover downside move. All right, so we went through some key stocks. Not seeing many more questions, so it was a very interesting trading day today with the Rip Your Face Off rally. So I am going to call it an early session. We will go over the market preview tomorrow morning, and just manage your stops with this rally. My advice is to keep ratcheting it up so you can stick with it as long as we don't get the bigger rollover move, and don't get greedy. You're not trying to call tops, you're trying to take the chunk out of the middle on all these plays. With that, I will talk to everyone later.